For example, it brings slander, lashon hara. It brings a person to through hatred, brings a person to reveal the shortcomings of his fellow, right? And gam shkarim, it will lead you to teach you to lie. Falsely attributing deficiencies to his fellow. As we know, so speaking of lashon hara, the Gemara Masechet Sotah 42a tells us there are 4 groups of people who do not get the ability to greet the divine presence. One group is kat shakarim, the liars, kat hanfanim, the flatterers, kat letzim, scoffers. They take serious things, mitzvot, they make jokes out of them, and kat mesaprei lashon hara, and people who speak lashon hara. So hatred can actually make you lead to do averot. They'll make you lose your olam haba. So if a person is very careful not to have hatred towards his friend, and we know that of all these groups of people, who's the worst? They all emanate from the sin of the tongue, misused speech. As Pasuk Yeshaya says, "Oili ki nidmeti." Woe is to me, for I am doomed. Ki ich tames v'tayim anochi. I am a man of impure lips, but the Melech Hashem tzokod ro'enai. From the eyes have seen the King Hashem. My eyes have seen the King Hashem, the Master of Legions. It says the Bet Levi. Look at this amazing thing. Someone who stumbles through a sin of foul lips, that already causes him not to accept the face of divine presence. And more than this, and when he sees his friend doing good things, his hatred becomes more. And he wants his friend to be unsuccessful. As the Pasuk says, those who repay evil for good, harass me. For my pursuit of good. And so the outcome is he hates the servants of Hashem. Then what? He comes out there, a guy has hatred for his friend. He doesn't want to see him successful. He sees him, people say he's a tzaddik, he does mitzvot, he's so good. And the guy hates that he does mitzvot. Comes out from hatred of the guy. He ends up hating that the guy is serving Hashem. And he hates the service of Hashem. So the person is hating that a person is doing mitzvot for Kadosh Baruch Hu. Imagine you're on a team and the guy is scoring points. He said, "What are you doing? You have to give me the ball." He says, "What are you talking about? We're winning. We're a team." "No, only I have to score the points." No, I don't approve what you're doing." What is this? What kind of team are you? What kind of team player are you? So therefore he says, look what hatred could do. Everyone's helping to bring the world to a better place and to do the will of God. And because you hate the guy, you'll end up hating what he's doing. Even if he's doing the service of Hashem, you'll end up hating the service of Hashem. That's what it means, that a person has foul lips, a bad mouth. It could be that he's going to get to the point where he loses chelek. So the person has to be very, very careful. And the person has to know, whenever you see other people in business also, you have to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who gives parnasah to everybody. You should hate him. He's making parnasah and he's providing for his family. Well, why should you hate him? So a person has to know that you'll come to absurd conclusions. You'll come to horrible situations just based on the person's hatred. So now, the Bet Levi says that the person has to apply this also by his house, by a person in his home also. How many people are very good at doing chesed in the street? They run to help their friend move. They run to help their friend with the events they're doing. When it comes to chesed in the house, they're non-existent. No, don't bother me. I don't do these things. Don't ask me. You know the famous story of Mordechai Gifter, whereas the guy who didn't want to take out the garbage. He told his wife, "No, I don't take garbage outside. Excuse you. It's not my job." So then the wife complained, and it got to the ears of Gifter, and he knocked on the door one day around 7:00, and with his hat, with his jacket, everything, and he said, "Oh, Kvod Rav, well, how can we help you?" He says, I came to do a chesed here. I heard there's a woman here who's suffering. She has no one to take out her garbage. So I heard there's a chesed opportunity. I want to do a chesed." He says, "Kvod Rav, it's not befitting for you to do this mitzvah." He says, "No, of course it's a chesed. I must. Why not? It's a mitzvah." He says, No, Rav, it's okay. Say, I'll do it. And what? He was teaching him, look, it's a chesed at the end of the day. Chesed for the street, yeah, it makes sense, chesed. My house? No, it's not chesed. Who says the chesed? It's a sin to go and help people in the house. It's what am I, her trapka? I'm her mop. I should go and help my wife? God forbid, right? What is this? It's foolishness, nonsense. And therefore, a person has more of a mitzvah. Chesed starts at home. So therefore, he says that there was a famous story of Ades, who was he was a yeshiva called Yaakov. he was in his mid-40s, and his friend asked him to help him go into galut, meaning the Hasidim and the big tzaddikim, they used to put themselves self-imposed exile. They would leave their homes, go to towns where nobody knew them, and through that suffering, they would go house to house asking for help, to be supported, to be taken care of, and they would spend all that time serving Hashem, and that would be a galut for them. So he wanted to go and come closer to Hashem through that. So he asked Rav Hadas to come with him, and he says, his Rav Hadas said to him, "You don't want to go into galut. You want to go on a picnic." He says, "It'll be easier for you to go from your house and to live alone and to be suffering over there than to be home and to help the people in your house and to deal with your family responsibilities." He says, that's the real tikkun. The tikkun is not to go put yourself in galut, to be some baba over there and to go be all alone and to suffer on your own. No, to help people in your house and to do your family responsibilities, the basic family responsibilities. That's the real Ahavat Yisrael. That's the real tikkun.